Wait, hang on. My apologies.
I don't know what more she wants. 10 seconds. I see you got the button. What more she wants? Did you get outside? Did you see any of our new buttons? Obviously it's not.
Oh yeah, hanging in. We're hanging in, man.
Okay, let me give you a little bit of background. So we've had this problem with local boards and local farmers being threatened, harassed, and abused by these MAGA-style, what I call evil flash mobs that show up at townships and they shout people down and they threaten local boards and intimidate them and cause them to pass ordinances that make clean energy impossible. Governor Whitmer passed, and the legislature passed siting reform in 2023 to address this problem. And they provided an alternative pathway through the state for farmers and solar developers to go to if they get blocked at the local level, which is illegal, and we can discuss that, okay? But I want you to kind of, this is kind of a mishmash, a mashup of the voices of people who are involved in this situation, and you're going to be able to see what's happening out there, and you're going to see that there is a big Republican pushback on Governor Whitmer's siting reform, led by Representative Greg Alexander, who is based out on the thumb here. And you're going to see that Representative Alexander is so confused about this issue, he's just, it's hard to even understand where he's coming from. But please pay attention to this. We can talk about it, but this is a pretty good cross-section of what's going on out there, and just remember how important this issue is.
Guy pulls up at the end of the driveway just before Christmas and says, "Yeah, wind turbines look around here, we're going to kill everybody in your family."
Our township officials were threatened. There is still fear within our community. That mob mentality is still being used in our community to keep people suppressed so they won't.
Oops.
My bad. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Guy pulls up at the end of the driveway just before Christmas and says, "Yeah, wind turbines look around here, we're going to kill everybody in your family."
Our township officials were threatened. There is still fear within our community. That mob mentality is still being used in our community to keep people suppressed so they won't question these people.
It has been a source of contention in a number of communities for years, the development of wind and solar projects.
We've seen terrible things in local communities. We've seen threats, blackmail, vandalism. It's not pretty, and it has to change.
Our family owns 2 centennial farmsteads, including the home I live in, which has been in my family for 154 years. Being a farmer is a gamble. One year you can be a tremendous year, and the next year can go right down the drain. In recent years, the cost of fertilizer, fuel, and seed have only added to this challenge.
It comes down to property rights. Property rights are a sacred thing. You shouldn't be told what to do and not to do on your ground, on land that you own.
We as the Conservative Energy Forum strongly believe in property rights and the fact that government is telling people what they can or can't do with their private land. And for some farmers, it is literally a matter of financial survival if they have the option to put some solar on some of their land. That is their right.
For our family, the challenges hit home in the 1990s when my mother came down with a severe illness. In order to pay my mom's rising health care bills, my dad was forced to sell part of our farm. But he knew that's what he had to do. Fast forward to today, my husband and I are facing medical issues of our own. Our greatest fear is that we will have to do the same thing my dad did and sell the rest of the farm instead of being able to pass it on to the next generation. Fortunately, we had an opportunity that would help us keep the farm in our family by hosting a solar farm, using our land to harvest sunlight and generate clean power.
An open tract of farmland is a precious thing. Once you put houses on farmland, it's never coming back. A wind turbine on a piece of land improves the bottom line for a farmer, and they can keep farming.
In communities that had wind farms, those people that were receiving wind farm income were more likely to say that they were going to pass their farm on to a child, or that they had developed a succession plan and they knew who they were going to pass their farm on to.
As my family's been here for generations, and now what? Now I'm a piece of crap because I signed my property up for windmills or solar, you know? I mean, when does property rights come into play?
With the development and passing of Senate Bills 277 and 502, small farmers like myself will now have the option to keep their family heritage and not have to resort to selling their land. The whole reason this law came about in the first place was too many townships were denying landowners and farmers the right to have solar or wind on their land.
Legislation has been proposed in Lansing that backers believe could remove some of the tension by giving the state more control in approving these projects. But Terry, people are already at odds about the proposed laws.
In Lansing, legislators passed a plan to remove local control when it comes to deciding where wind and solar farms are built in our community. I oppose the state stripping power from local government, where citizens have the most influence.
I'm State Representative Greg Alexander, and I'm fighting for you.
So we just had a meeting with your state representative.
Yeah, Greg Alexander. We went out and talked to him just to find out, because you put an oil well in right now. Nobody ever said anything about that. Why didn't Greg say something about the oil wells? You don't have to go to the township for that. Solar is the cheapest form of energy. I mean, why should we make it cost 10 times more and try to stop it with local government? Why do we have that at all? I could go out here and put an oil well. I wouldn't have to go ask Elmer Township if I can put an oil well out.
They certainly lease the lands of gas and oil. Our county's like Swiss cheese with so many pipelines and compressor stations and yada, it goes on and on and on. You've got the knock on your door, you've got a landman, and they said, we've decided that we're going to put this well right here on your property. You've got 10 acres, we're going to put it right here on your property, and here's your $500.
And when the oil company came, they came as a courtesy to the township and announced that they were going to do this, but they also plainly told us that we didn't have a say in what they would do.
We don't have to have all this stuff to put up an oil well or a cell phone tower, but they're picking on the green energy. There's just a whole nother layer of bureaucracy. We've been 10 years trying to get a solar farm. We just want an equal playing field. As a Republican, and I'm a Republican, I don't understand why you would be against energy. I don't get that. And as a Republican, why you'd want to stop energy. I think all energy is good. And why you'd want to pick a winner and lose it. I don't get it. And here you got somebody living in a trailer that doesn't want to see a solar panel more than 1,000 feet from their house. Well, that's not their property.
What we do with our land, as long as it's within the law and as long as it doesn't harm anyone, is our business. I mean, nobody tells me what crop I can plant. Nobody tells me what farming method I can use to be the most efficient on my operation. But I've got somebody that lives in a double wide and got a pair of horses behind their house that wants to tell me what we can do with our land. And that's wrong. That's just dead wrong.
Things are tight in terms of income. If they can't do something like this, what are other alternatives that you're hearing to be able to make ends meet if there's not opportunities for something like this?
So the opportunity for a landowner, okay, a farmer or whoever, it should be up to them to decide what they want on their property. They shouldn't be mandated to put into, practice whatever it is. It's about landowners' rights. It's about voters' rights. I was a drain commissioner before, and it didn't matter to me how they treated their land. They could put up a Walmart, or they could put up a, plant corn or plant trees. It's property rights is what it should be, and that happens at a local level. Alternatives, they could choose a different crop to plant. They could, put it in a government program. There's lots of alternatives that a landowner could do with their property. They paid for it. In essence, they pay the state to use it every year, right? Through taxes, property taxes. So that's the landowner's choice. Thank you for the question.
Okay, so as you can see, Representative Alexander is pretty confused about the implications of his own bill. He's fine with, he says if farmers need more money, they can build a Walmart on their land as far as he's concerned. But he seems to be fine with shutting farmers out from having solar or wind on their land. So this is the situation that we find ourselves in right now in Michigan. Is we need to get people involved at the local level, at the rural local level, at the township level, and the county level, to push back against this very well organized fossil fuel initiative to block clean energy. I'll just update you real quickly on our friend Chris Wright. His company, Liberty Energy, as of Friday afternoon, checked the stock price on that, and it had lost almost 50% since Donald Trump took office. So these people are evil, but they're not evil geniuses. So we can oppose them, and we can defeat them. Okay, they're not Bond villains. Quite the opposite. And so we have put together this thing called Michigan Homegrown Power. If you want to get involved, if you're looking for something to do that is the most direct thing you can do to remedy climate change, getting involved in citing local clean energy is the way to do it. You can go to myhomegrownpower.com, and if you sign up there, click on Join Our Mission, and then there's an educational video if you want to look at it to kind of bring you up to steam on the finer points of local control. And then you can join a local group. We have regional groups around the state where we let people know where there's an important meeting near them. We let them know what the issues are, and we encourage them to show up, write a letter, record a meeting, maybe even get up and make a comment, talk to a local official, take them out for coffee, and basically make it clear that people want more clean energy. So everybody's got their own motivation for this, what gets them out of bed in the morning to keep doing this work. For me, it's my first grandson, Finnegan. Finnegan's what gets me out of bed every morning to keep doing this work, because it's all about Finnegan and the next 100 generations of Finnegans who are going to inherit the world that we leave for them. And we've got a lot of work to do. So, thank you. If you want to follow my work, sun101.org, wind101.info, think.blog, think with a C, stands for This Is Not Cool. And you can follow me on Blue Sky and on Facebook at Peter Sinclair. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Is anybody ready for the tree hugger hootenanny? I can't hear you. Let's do it. Chris Pride, James Marset, and Jason Dean. Let's go.
All right.